Gentlemen, it's good to see you again.
Nice to see you, Larry. Nice to see you, Larry.
Lovely. What is Apple, John?
It's a company we're setting up which involves records, films, electronics, which make records and films work, and what's it called, manufacturing?
Yeah, it does a few things.
You know, the byproducts that end up with Larry Page T-shirts and that.
It's just trying to mix business with enjoyment.
Pleasure.
Because we're in business, you know, we find ourselves in business.
Are you the directors? Are you the directors of this?
Yeah, but like all the profits won't go into our pockets. They'll go to help people, but not like a charity.
What do you plan?
Somebody wants to make a film, and they go to a company and they get shown into the waste paper bin, and nothing ever happens. So they go around, they make an underground one, and it goes round and round underground, and a lot of people never see it. So if they come to us, they won't stand a chance. But we hope to make a thing that's free, where people can just come and do and record and not have to ask, could we have another microphone in the studio, because we haven't had a hit yet.
I see. How expansive, how large will this be here?
Oh, well, like that.
How large will it be in America?
We don't know yet. You know, it'll be big, I think.
We're just blowing up the balloon.
There's lots of things, you know, we just got a friend of ours who's in electronics.
Oh, yeah.
I'll tell you about this chap, who's called Alex. And he's great, he's a Greek fella. And he's he's invented incredible things, you see. So that'll be big.
Well, are the days of the Beatles on stage over?
Well, they've been over for the last 2 years because we've been on land. But you never know, do you? With all these incredible electronics, we might come flying over New York playing one day.
Did you enjoy the trip over to India?
Yes, lovely.
The journey was terrible, but the trip was all right.
Yeah.
There was a report that now we get very bad reports.
Smashed him.
That you didn't like it, or you didn't have the patience, and you decided to go home.
We were there 4 months, or George and I were.
No,
we lost 13 pounds, and we looked a day older.
Did you think this man's on the level?
I don't know what level he's on, but
he's on the
we had a nice holiday in India and came back rested to play businessman.
What do you see in the years ahead for yourself?
You know, an expanding vista.
Apple, you know, time set it up and then see where it goes. It's like a top, and we set it going and hope for the best.
Paul, about a year and a half ago, there were quotes on the wire about your discussion of LSD and some other things, narcotics.
Yes, Larry.
It seemed to me, from what I read, that you had endorsed it and condemned it.
We were manufacturing it at
What's the story?
No,
the business went bump.
Somebody asked me, some newspaper man came up and he said, have you had LSD? So I thought, well, I'll either be cagey here or I'll be honest. So I said yes.
And it was his responsibility for reporting it. So they had him on TV saying, why did you say this? Why did you say this?
Almost like that situation.
Yeah, but they kept asking him, did you take it? So he says, yeah. But on TV he says, well, you don't print this bit of film, man. I mean, I don't want to tell anybody about it.
Almost like the situation with the Christ statement.
Yeah, right. But see, they just asked me a question. I gave them an answer. And then it was blown up. I mean, you know, I just spoke the truth. And it's sometimes painful.
You know, here in the United States, we've had a lot of riots on campuses in the last...
You betcha, Larry.
Do you read much about these things?
Yeah, it's on the news.
You know, these same people
We've got TV back home now.
You have?
Yes. We've seen that.
These same people were Beatle people 4 years ago.
Yes.
And
so they've grown up, right?
What's your immediate reaction when you read about something like this? It's happening overseas now, too.
It's going on everywhere, you see, so the immediate reaction
is... It's a drag.
Wonder what the main object of all this going on at once is. And then it makes you think, Larry.
Yeah,
even in Wales they're rioting.
People seem to be like unhappy about something, and they seem to be messing it up. So that anything we can do to help, we should do.
And that's what everybody's doing.
That's what Apple's about, you know.
Trying to make people happy.
Not really, you know, just trying to help. You know, they don't have to be happy. You know, just trying to help people.
I'm very slow.
You get the picture, Larry. Come on, own up.
Own up, Larry.
Are you happy?
He used to be nice. Larry used to be very charming.
Yeah, I'm not completely happy. I'd be a fool to say I was, Larry.
It varies, doesn't it? I mean,
generally.
If you had it all the time,
generally, yeah.
It might be hysterical, but...
Do you miss the big crowds? I mean, the big crowds. And
No, I don't miss them at all, Larry.
It's all past now.
Well, we don't know. 5 looks quite big to me these days. My eyes are going 27, you know.
How is Ringo and how's George?
Lovely.
Very healthy.
Do you plan any type of theatrical production?
I don't know. If somebody comes up with a production and says, I can't get this on, we say, can't you? Let's have a see look.
What do you think about that?
I mean, us ourselves doing it.
Yourselves, on stage.
They're doing one of John's books at the National Theatre in London.
It's disgusting what happens in England these days.
What about, I hate to get on politics.
Singing and all that. Right. We're still doing all that, you know. Nothing's changed. The only difference is we don't tour. But we might do in the future, you know.
You might tour again?
Yeah, we only stopped touring because there was nowhere to go, you know. You could only get bigger and bigger audiences. You couldn't hear it. And we
what
couldn't
with all the
get
rifles and the big masks and all that and the clubs frightened me to death, viewers.
I hate to get on politics, but you know, you're a young man, about my age over
27.
there, right? And what do you think about this racial business over in England? I know we talked about this before. Seriously,
the one over in England.
You know, the leader of the party talking about laws against immigration and.
Yeah, you know,
they just try to be with it.
What do you mean by be with it? Just.
Well, like the Queen doesn't need to be with it, says Hardy Amis. She is it, says Hardy Amis.
No, that thing's just the same question everywhere, you know. There's no different in England. It's a bit less harmful in England. But it's the same thing, you know. Some people don't like other people because they're not the same as them.
I talked to you after about a year after the assassination of President Kennedy, and you said that at the time that this alarmed you. You know, it was a shocking thing when you first heard about it.
Yeah.
Did you feel the same
assassination is
the same type of feeling about Martin Luther King?
Sure.
Yeah.
What do you think we are, deadbeats?
I mean, well, what was your general reaction?
What was yours then? I can't describe it. I said, oh, they've got another fella, have they? They've done it again. Who is it? You know.
Of course, you're separated from the scene. You're over there, and you're outside looking in.
No, not really. You know. No, that's not.
We're trying to keep up with what's going on, Larry.
It's the same thing everywhere. You know, there's somebody messing it up, and we're going to find him.
I believe his description is going round now, this very moment.
Right.
A short brown suit with a pair of charcoal grey trousers.
You're keeping up with the times.
Oh, I am, yes.
One final question. In all the time you've been Beatles, before you were just people from Liverpool, it was always a question that somebody asked you, well, when's the bubble going to burst? Remember that?
Yes.
The bubble hasn't burst, and it doesn't seem like it's going to burst.
It just flew off.
But do you ever envision a time of just ceasing being the Beatles and going off on your own, or even working together?
Just we do work on our own anyway now.
You never can be anything else but the Beatles.
We are the Beatles, you know, that's what we are.
We're also Apple as well, see. They're like Dr. Jekyll and Mrs. Brown. But they're both meant to be nice, you see.
Do you plan to visit over here again?
Oh, yeah. You know, we don't plan anything. It just happens, you know. We just come over here and go over there, and it's, you know, we'll be back, and you know, anything could happen.
Out of all your experiences in the United States, what would you say was the highlight of your career here?
Escaping from Memphis.
Seriously,
just the first thing happening. Just hearing about I Want to Hold Your Hand in Paris, I remember it so well. We had a celebration milk, and when we got here and all that scene was going on at the airport, it was amazing. That was it.
Did you expect this?
That's what happened.
Yeah, that's what happened.
Did you expect it?
No. And it was just sort of getting a foothold in the market, but not getting your whole head right in straight away. Mm-hmm.
What do you think about music now here in this country? Our top 40.
Nielsen for president.
Do you think music is making it? Do you think it's improved any? Do you think
some of it? There's a lot of sort of.
It goes up and down, you know.
Well, we got Bill Haley again, and we also got what came before him. That's young girl, get out of my life.
I guess that's about it. But I'd like to extend my best wishes to both of you. And
it's been a pleasure.
I don't know if it's going to help.
Great working with you, Larry.
Yes, it is.
Enjoyed it.
And you can join Apple anytime you like.
Okay.